It was a tough day for Caribbean teams at the Netball World Cup in Liverpool as Jamaica, Barbados and Trinidad and Tobago all failed to win on Monday. The world number 2 ranked Sunshine Girls were knocked out of contention for a semi-final spot, beaten 56-48 by hosts and favourites England. That defeat followed a 55-52 reverse to South Africa on Sunday. Now Monday's loss means the Sunshine Girls will have failed to make it through to the knockout round of the Netball World Cup for the first time since 1995. Sunshine Girls will next play Scotland on Tuesday. Let's look up some numbers around the performance today. So England's Roses against the Sunshine Girls. 14-12 England took the first quarter, dead even in the second quarter. England inched ahead in the third quarter, blowing the match wide open effectively, 16-10, and the fourth 12-12, 56-48 at the end. Fowler Reid, Fowler, she dropped Reid some times ago. Perfect from the goal shoot position, 43 from 43. Aiken didn't play. Husby, 29-34, she shot 85% for England at goal attack. And Joan Harton, 90%, 27 from 30, despite the attention of Shamira Sterling, the outstanding Jamaica defender. So, ladies and gentlemen, the Reggae Girls, never before have they been sponsored to such an extent. Record sponsorship they received going into the tournament. Team best rank going into the tournament. The 3 major previews before the World Cup suggested that they'd get worst a bronze medal and they'll have to watch the medal teams from TV land.
Well, coming into this game, I know England, they actually came out and said if it's one team that could upset them would have been Jamaica. I can't understand, what really happened. Of course, there is a way Jamaica could make it through the tournament though. I was figuring it out. If England lose them 2 matches or if South Africa, they lose their 2 matches, then Jamaica would qualify. So let's just hope that happens.
That's not going to happen.
If I turn into a cat, I'd be able to say meow. That's more likely to happen than this scenario.
Okay, maybe England won't win. England won't lose, but South Africa could lose their next 2 matches.
That's not going to happen.
But that wouldn't be enough. Would it?
Yeah,
it
once
would
they
be.
lose,
if South Africa lose both,
we have to win our next 2 as well.
They won't though. Not based on the quality of the opposition that they'll face. And the Jamaicans know that their advance is completely out of their hands at the moment. And what you have described, Mariah, is mathematically still a possibility. Yeah. But in reality, England and South Africa won't lose those matches.
And even today, Lance, England didn't play their best match,
Well, neither did the Jamaicans.
Yeah.
It was a tough loss for the Jamaicans. George, we have discussed something on this program many times, and I think it is still something that we have to delve deeply into. The issue of Caribbean athletes getting overseas professional contracts and the impact it has on their national performances. Because I see it in football all the time, where players get overseas contracts and then get ingrained into their club system of football, and whenever they play nationally for their country, the performance isn't the same. Pretty much like Messi with Barcelona and Messi with Argentina. The Jamaican team in Liverpool has Romelda Aiken, Janelle Fowler, Kadian Dehaney, and Shamira Sterling as overseas pros in the best league in the world. On the back of that, player for player, this is probably the strongest team that Jamaica has ever taken to a world championship. And to see that they're about now to have one of their worst results ever, I think requires some serious introspection and a serious post-mortem on the performance here. I'm not going to say that the girls aren't trying hard and so on, because there are many factors that players have to encounter when they shift from their regular club setup, because these girls are playing in the Australian Suncorp Pro League for 5-6 months for the year. So they have dislocated from that now to represent Jamaica with different teammates and so on, and they just didn't perform, certainly against South Africa yesterday and against England today, at the quality that we know they can.
But look, perhaps it is that chemistry, that word that René Simo is trumpeted when he was head coach of Jamaica's technical director of Jamaica's national football program for the historic World Cup qualification, is relevant here once again. Of the top teams in the world, take the top 4, of which the Sunshine Girls are one. How many of them, their best players, play in the same league. Most of them. So the Aussies play at home, the Kiwis play at home, the South Africans play at home, and of course the English play at home. Jamaica's best 4 or 3 play in Australia or New Zealand. Then they blend in a squad of 12 with other girls who are in other places, mostly local. It's still a quality team, but there is an issue of chemistry. So the 4 girls who play overseas, who you just named, they don't play for the same team.
No.
Yeah, there you go. So I'm just saying that transplanting their individual talent into the group collective, and it's a disparate group, then the challenge for the coaching staff is to meld that group together
Quickly.
and form a cohesive unit in the manner that their main rivals have that chemistry already. And you can see that it's almost a bits and pieces kind of thing, runs and where to pass and everything.
Yeah.
You know what has killed Jamaica in this tournament so far? Turnovers. When you look
They
at the
were
key
sloppy.
statistics for the individual girls, and our assists leader, of course, is Khadija Williams. She's the one who gets most of the passes from center to play on, to find Aiken or to find Fowler. She has, of course, many assists to her names, but she has the most turnovers. And Romelda Aiken hasn't seen much action in England so far, but also the turnover figures, I think she has as many turnovers as goals in this tournament. Janelle Fowler, she was asked at the end of today's game, well, you know, you seem frustrated at points out there. And of course, she's trying to be diplomatic. She doesn't want to throw her teammates under the bus. She said, well, if you saw me shaking my head, it was me being frustrated at myself. I find that hard to believe from Janelle, but I respect her being diplomatic, because guess what? She was perfect. She had 43 from 43. She can't be, there's nothing for her to be upset about herself for.
To be fair though, George, I saw her drop a few balls, but in key moments.
But how did she get those balls? Remember, you know, netball is
I know, but at her level.
Yes, but
so
I'm
her
saying,
statistics, her shooting statistics were perfect,
yes.
100%, 43 from 43. But that doesn't capture the entire picture of her game.
But I'm saying, how did she collect? Because in netball, there's a premium on where and how you collect that ball to land and then to set yourself up for the shot. And if you are getting it in a I almost said unnatural position. This is not football. In a way where
it's hard for you to
that's
keep
not
it.
your spot.
It's hard for you to keep
exactly.
it. Especially at her size.
Exactly. Your teammates know your spot. And if you're being forced to work into other areas to collect, then you're going to be frustrated. So I'm saying I can understand her wanting to not throw her teammates under the bus and being diplomatic. But I can also want to take the point that you're saying that sometimes she let herself down. But I'm saying in the main, I think she was frustrated at the quality of the service coming to her. I may be wrong.
They were so slow on court, George, even on center court. Like, there were many a times they were looking to see who to throw the ball to.
Yeah,
like, nobody was aware.
And that's another thing. The ball in the hands of the Kiwis and the New Zealand and the England Roses, it flits. You know, when they say a hummingbird flits from plant to plant, taking nectar, it just flits. For the Sunshine Girls, it's catch.
Yeah, and they're all looking around.
And catch. No.
Two more things I want to suggest here. One, England had lost to Jamaica 3-0 in a series last October, which was just 6-7 months ago.
It was an experimental side, though.
Both teams were below strength.
Yeah.
Both the
so
Jamaica
if both of you are
England
below
team.
strength and you're at home, you may have an advantage. But proceed.
I'm just saying that from a revenge perspective, England came into this important fixture at the World Cup, I think, with that in mind as well.
Yeah.
Also, there was a level of hunger and desire in front of their home fans that the English girls displayed today that I didn't see in the Jamaica team. I saw an English team that refused to lose.
Yeah.
Everything about their game today suggested to me that they were refusing to lose this match today, and I didn't see the commensurate.
Well, I can tell you one thing as we go to Sasha Gay Henry. She's a former Sunshine Girl, of course. She starred for them, and of course then she moved on when she retired to coach the team. Sasha Gay, welcome to the SportsMax Zone. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Thanks for having me.
Yes, you're most welcome. Disappointing, we are picking over the Jamaican performance at the World Cup, Netball World Cup in Liverpool so far. What do you make of it all, watching on from here?
I'm trying to recover from the loss myself. It's not an easy one for us. I feel it for my teammates and my girls because I know that they would have tried their best. I'm not sure what was the game plan, and I'm not sure if we had stuck to the game plan that the coach had asked them. I know we were having some issues in terms of little turnovers here and there, but it comes down to the top 5 teams. And at this competition and at this level, for this World Cup, for me, I knew it was going to be a tough one. And it's going to come down to the 5 top teams and how they perform on the day. The team making the least amount of error, the team who is more hungry, the team who capitalize better on the other team's turnover. So that's what happened to us today, and it cost us the game. They just capitalized on our errors, and it just didn't work for us today.
But Sasha, what's troubling for me is seeing the team, especially in the South Africa performance and to a lesser extent the Monday performance earlier today, that I didn't see my Sunshine Girls give me that extra gear that Jamaica's Sunshine Girls usually give me when they find out that they're in a fight. So it was clear that the South Africans came to play, and it needed the Sunshine Girls to find that extra gear. What is it that you think prevented the Jamaican team from transitioning?
Really, I'm here and I'm trying to wonder myself what caused them. I'm not sure if I didn't think they went in a panic mode. I think that we made some changes. It worked for us. We made some. It didn't work. We never changed it back easily. And I think that we just didn't see the players stepping out today. Sometimes you want players in the midcourt, the defensive area, leading the pack. So you want that type of energy. You want that type of push from the players. I'm not sure if we had that coming out from the team today. And really, I am not able to say what they were working on and if they didn't do it right. And because it didn't work for them, they just dropped arms. I'm not sure. But I know those girls are fighters.
You know, one of the things that will upset the coaching staff, I'm sure, and yourself as a former coach of this national team, the number of turnovers. You hinted at it earlier. But there must be a reason, Sasha Gay, why a top-class team turns the ball over as much as the Sunshine Girls. The Aussies, the New Zealanders, the English team, to a lesser extent South Africa, so far in this tournament, they haven't turned the ball over as much as we have. What's wrong?
Well, it goes down to, remember, we have had these players being out for some time too. They have not been playing together. We had players in Australia. We had them in England. Some of the team, the players met down in Australia. We had a camp. So because they're not able to go through everything to see if what we were working on and if we gelled together coming into the program. So when a few girls were left here, and I actually went to see them before they went off, and they were not as sharp as I wanted them to, would want them to look, but also they were not of their full strength. But the turnovers is something that we really and truly need to work on. So we have to have that good communication from the defensive third, calling to those players in the attack to slow it down. I am here to offer. So it's all about the communication and all about the rhythm and how they synchronize together as a team. That will limit them making those turnovers. The mental toughness in the game to know when it goes, when you play, it's a little bit different sometimes.
Sasha, moving forward, how do you see us bouncing back from the losses?
I mean, we have to recover. We have a rest day tomorrow, which is good for us. But it's not an if or but or must. We have to recover and just finish that tournament strong, hoping that maybe Uganda can upset South Africa, England can beat South Africa and get us back into the semi-final playoff. Or if that's not the case, we just have to finish strong and just keep our heads up high, come back home and see how things go from there.
There you go. Sasha Gay, that's all the time we have. You know what's funny for me? Well, it's cruel irony, really. The Australians beat Barbados. They scored 92 goals, the Australians did, and they were criticized for the way they played. The Australians also beat, I think it was Zimbabwe, they scored 70 odd, and they were also criticized for the quality of their performance. So I'm saying that some teams are setting some high standards, and the Sunshine Girls have not looked themselves at this tournament, and it's unfortunate what has happened to them.
Very sad, very, very sad.
There you go. Thank you very much. All the best to you.
Thank you too.
Good. Sasha Gay Henry, former Sunshine Girls player and coach. So the Bajans, they beat Singapore 64-34 in the stage 1 of the preliminaries. Then they lost to New Zealand, and then they lost to Malawi. Malawi, a good team. Then in stage 2, the Aussies 91-22. Their coach wasn't happy. Lisa Alexander, the Australian coach, despite putting up 91 goals. For TNT, stage 1 of the preliminaries, they beat South Africa. Well, they lost to South Africa, beg your pardon. They lost to Jamaica. Then they beat Fiji for their first win. And then the Cranes, the Lady Cranes of Uganda, an underrated team, they lost 57-54, a narrow loss for the TNT team by 3 goals in that particular encounter. All right, so the Netball World Cup playing in Liverpool, England, and the Sunshine Girls. Only a mathematical chance by Mariah's maths, which you may trust or not.